Not really.
Housewives.
There you go.
Hey, y'all. Good way to start.
Y'all want me to keep going?
Tonight's conversation is, I think it's just going to be a series of thoughts that we have that are going to be essential to like the foundation of this entire series of podcasts. You know what I mean? It's just going to give you a good feeling, a good sense of who we are as women. So what I'm saying is, if you can't get down with the first one, ain't no need in watching the rest.
Flip it.
Because we're going to just really dig into just who we are. You know?
That's a lot. We are a lot. Hence the name, Everything But Housewives. I guess we should start there, right?
Go for it.
Okay. Everything But Housewives. How did we come up with that? Well, we wear many hats. I mean, we are parents.
I know that hurt.
As you can hear. We are mompreneurs. We are sisters. We are friends. We are aunts. We are educators. We are business women. We are, man, look. We're a lot of things, but what we're not.
One thing.
We are not housewives. For different reasons. We won't get into that today, but if you follow along, we'll get into it eventually. Come on in and watch this episode.
It's gonna come out.
But we are not housewives. We're everything but housewives. So when you think about us, don't think about Atlanta housewives or what's the other housewives? Housewives of Potomac.
Charlotte.
Charlotte got a house.
Winsboro.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I just feel like
none of those. None of those are things.
New
So
Mexico. It's literally every state now has a housewife show. I'm over it. I'm over the entire thing.
okay, so when you think about those people, we're the opposite. We are that's not what we are. We are many things. We wear many hats and we wear them well. Housewives just doesn't happen to be one of them. Because, we're not that. So yeah, that's where the name came from. Okay. Got something to say on that, Sugar Pump?
No, I agree with everything you said.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. We'll get into the whole not housewives, and because let me say this.
Go ahead.
Because I can't say much at this moment, but I will later on down the line. One of us was a housewife. We are no longer a housewife. So we're gonna, we're gonna get into that at some point as well. We won't get into it today, but we will. So make sure y'all tune in for that. Okay. So what do we want to talk about today?
First question out of the bag. Out of the hat.
What's the first out of the bag? I think we should have a bag. First question out of this wine glass.
That's so good. First question out of the wine glass is, what are some things you would like to say to the 20-year-old version of yourself? Let's start with the fact that we're almost not even 30.
Listen,
I'm 34.
I'm at the age where, if you round up, I'm at that 40 line. Don't necessarily feel great about it. But, I am 37, so I'm embracing it. I'm 37. I just turned 37 on February 1st, so I just celebrated my 37th birthday, surrounded by my loved ones.
Yay.
My friends. But you want to take the first? What would you say to your 20? Give me one thing that you would say to your 20-year-old self, or in your 20s.
One thing I would say to her for sure is have so much more fun.
Please.
Listen, and I think that So this will have to be a separate conversation, but when I turned 20, I was hard into church. Now let me say this, not necessarily hard into God.
Say it again.
Hard into church. And so we're not going to get into what those dynamics mean, because that is a huge,
whole nother conversation.
Long another conversation.
But that's good, because I feel like that was both of our things. When we met each other, by the way, we have been friends for almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Don't let the people tell you otherwise. Okay?
Liars.
We have been friends for almost 20 years. We met in 2003.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. What year is this?
21.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. I just felt old. Okay. Let's move past that.
We were adults when we met. That's the problem.
Listen. We met at Claflin University in Orangeburg, South Carolina. We both were into church. Like she said, wasn't so much as into God. It was definitely into church. Almost cult-like. She might say otherwise. I'm going to call a spade a spade. It was almost cult-like. But we're going to move past that, because I know some folks will be mad.
I'm going to call a spade a club.
She don't play cards, by the way, so she don't know what that means. But it is what it is.
Just go.
But we both were like
heavy
into church. So a lot of that time was spent in church. We somewhere singing, somewhere praising,
revivals,
shouting, or
answering
dancing.
The phones at the church. I was there
shouting
all day, every day. Which was good.
It was good. It was a foundation. I mean, it wasn't a bad thing. But if we're giving, like, we're gonna be real, because that's what this is about. I'm telling you, my friend had told me I can cuss on the show, so be prepared, because it's coming. I don't want to say it while we talk about the Lord, though, because that just seems a little messed up. So I ain't gonna do that part. But what I will say is, I was a mom at 21. Hear me when I say it. I'm going to say that again for y'all, because I don't think you hurt me in the back. And I'm going to hold my wine glass when I say it. Okay? That means at 20, even though I was into church, I got pregnant. And I had my first son at 21. Do you hear what I'm saying? 21. Do you know what you're supposed to be doing at 21? Like, 21 is your turn up.
Yeah, frolicking.
21 is supposed to be your turn up.
Hard frolic.
I mean, down to the club, drink a little drink, smoke a little weed. If you into that, I ain't here to judge. I got no heaven or hell to put you
if you're in California where it's legal.
But what I'm saying is, at 21, instead of me turning up, I was preparing to breastfeed.
That is not the type of turning up we're referencing.
Wasn't. And then I had my second son a year and 4 days later. So my 20s were spent being a mom.
Yeah. Which is one.
I love them.
Yeah.
Let's say that first, because people think you don't love your kids when you're real.
People who don't have kids think
People who don't have
because
kids.
Before I had children, I'd be like, how could you say that? I get it. I waited to have I waited to have children, which is another point on the thing that we hope for 20-year-olds, is that you don't have kids. And I know that is something that we planned for. Like, I wanted to have children in my 20s. I wanted to be married.
Please talk about that, because I think the idea, or what we put out there is that by 25 you should be married. You should have already, now In our culture, definitely. We want the women to have degrees. We ain't back in the day. Now, we want these women to finish college. We want to do all of that. And then 25, you should definitely have your husband. If not, have one kid, you know, be working on a kid, you know, y'all buying land and businesses and all that other great stuff, which is a great plan to have. I just feel like people, let's be realistic, you know, like, first of all, that's a lot of pressure.
It is. And I think one of the things you miss when you have a plan like that is you miss the part where you're supposed to learn who you are.
Because how at 25, first of all, let's be clear. We do know that the brain is still developing in your teenage years, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's
You don't
start
get there till you're like, what, 26?
Yeah. So we still developing, right? So to tell a person that by 25, I need to have settled down and committed my life to somebody else.
And children.
And children. Have babies. I got to be this mama. I got to be this daddy, or whatever it is that I have to be. When I don't know myself at 20s. I didn't know myself. Hey, I'm 37. I'm just figuring me out. I just feel like it's so listen. Thanks to my therapist.
Like for therapy.
Everybody should have one, starting age 30. Moving on. I just feel like it's a lot of pressure, but I don't know if in my 20s, because of that, I rebelled. It's like, I ain't doing that. Like, I didn't want to necessarily be married in my 20s. Now, my kids were not mistakes, but they were beautiful surprises. My boys were beautiful. My children were beautiful surprises. Okay, they were beautiful surprises, and I thought I was in love with it and stuff. I was 21 though. Like I was 21. Like, go to the club. Yeah. I am not promoting the clubs. Coronavirus is real. Be safe. But go out. 20s, look at here. I'm telling you. You have plenty of time to be a mom or a dad or all this other kind of stuff. I think in your 20s, that plan for that financial freedom and all that stuff, that's when you get all that stuff done. Work on you. Get you some businesses, buy you some land, like travel.
Travel is another one of mine.
Travel. Like, do you know how expensive it is to travel with children? You want to go down to the beach.
Just to the beach.
You know, listen, this used to get on my nerves about my friends. I'm telling you, because I mean what I say. Oh, let's go take a day trip. Who, where? How? With who? Like, I got kids. Y'all telling me this the day of? The day before? I need like 2 weeks in advance. I got to get a sitter. They cost some money. Because my mama was like, no, I'm not doing this. Like, I raised my kids. I ain't raising them up. Like,
Well, I'm hearing this for the first time. I'm so sorry.
No, don't be sorry because
I wasn't even considerate of that. Like so listen, before I had children, before I settled down, from 21 to 29, I was all into rich auntie vibes.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna buy them whatever. I'm gonna send them whatever. What they need? What they need? What the boys need? They need anything? Let me talk to Mariah and Trey. What they doing? What they grands like? They playing any sports? They need something for their team. This is her. While she out living her best life. Oh, girl, I'm about to go to Dubai. Like wherever she was going.
Happy hour. What the children need for?
I'm over here in a bonnet and a robe and house shoes
doing homework, and I'm just like, I don't understand that. But I had never thought about it. Even to this day, I didn't think back to how I used to be like, dang, I can't never go anywhere.
But the fact is, I couldn't. And I felt some type of way.
That's the fact.
I felt some type of way. Like, you feel left out. But it ain't their fault. It's your fault. You decided to have these babies at 21. Like, that's on me. And I don't regret my decision. You know, my children are the best thing that ever happened to me. And quite frankly, If I didn't have my children in my 20s,
where would we be today?
let me tell y'all. OnlyFans.
I know what that is.
She just learned. Just learned. Listen, I'm gonna be real. I don't know where my life would be had I not had my children, because I believe in the turn up itch. Strongly. I would have had way too much fun. So I had fun with my kids. It was just kid friendly. You know, a little Disney, a little Legoland. You know. Vegas.
Nope.
No, we're gonna go down here to Myrtle Beach and play in this dirt. Yeah.
So have fun. We covered a lot of them. Have fun. Travel. Don't have kids in your 20s.
Get to know yourself. Real life.
That's a big one. And it takes time. Another thing I hated about having a plan was I sometimes missed out on the beauty of now because I was so upset that it wasn't on schedule. Like, I spent a whole year.
You are a planner.
I'm an intense planner.
You are an intense planner.
And so I get really frazzled if something's supposed to happen at 5. Especially if it's something I'm supposed to have had done at 5 p.m.
Motherhood has changed
now.
That,
oh yeah. Well,
slightly
about personal stuff, but like work stuff, I don't like that. 6 o'clock. What's wrong with y'all? You didn't realize?
You get my email. The people like sending emails. Okay, we ain't gonna talk about that. Go ahead.
I'm the people. But you know, let go of that plan. And I think that this is where being spiritual and being in a relationship with God is important, because you have to have a certain level of trust that everything is working out the way it should be. And if that means that you have kids at 31,
it's okay.
Have a good decade.
You still got to listen. It's not like having kids, and I don't want to offend anybody, because people are still having kids at 40, 50, even 60 years old. I am not that person. Let's put that out there. My youngest kid is 2. She is the last of the Mohicans, thus saith the Lord. Having kids later in life, if that's what you want to do, hey, do it. But in your 30s, if you're having your kid at 30, you still have time to grow with them. Like, you're not going to be at the baseball field and you got to put Ben Gay on your knee. Like,
with a walker.
Like, you still have time. I don't know why people feel like once they hit their 30s, it's over. It's not.
Is it hormonal, you think?
Oh, it's hormonal, because I didn't have it I didn't have it turning 30. I was excited about turning 30, probably because my kids were older and they could do for themselves. And I was like, woo, freedom! But now hitting 40, right? I'm like, oh, okay.
Slow down.
I need to do X, Y, Z. So I think it is hormonal, because like, even talking to other people who were turning 30 or nearing 30, because even now at 25, people are having real life panic attacks. Like, multiple people that I know are at 25, I should have been doing this, I should have had this, I'm not married, I don't have the kids, I don't have the career, I don't have this, I don't have that. Which I thought that it would be a little different, because this new generation, like, they so creative and so free, and so, you know, just like, they challenge everything, they question everything, like they are knowledge seekers. I love that about the new generation. But I feel like rearing and culture has still embedded that in all of us, like,
particularly the older millennials. Us. Yeah, those boomers got to us. I don't care what we say.
Listen,
we might, claim the freedom. The younger millennials, Gen Z, they're a little more distant, and then we have to acknowledge that the boomers hadn't moved out either. Like, our president's 80 something. Nancy Pelosi's 80 something. These people are old.
80?
It's 79 something. They up there, baby. These folks are retirement age. I mean, they should
push. Okay. So,
but at the same time, who takes their space?
Right.
Which is why I think it's important in your 20s for you to drive fast and hard in acquiring knowledge and bettering yourself and figuring yourself out, because we don't have time to wait on you.
We don't have time to wait.
50 and finally figuring out, I was supposed to be in politics, or I was supposed to be a doctor. You missed that. You missed that. So just...
Well, we can't say that because, you know, people are getting old and deciding to do things late. Prime example.
Oh.
I ain't gonna say nobody's name, but I know somebody who's older who just found their career in education. That's not a bad thing, per se. I'm just saying. But it's like they're older and it's their first year teaching.
There is life in, you know.
I agree with it. I'm not, the only reason, okay, so I said before we started that we're both educators.
Yeah.
So this thing is in our core. Like this is us. Mm-hmm. And so when I see certain setups or things being taught certain ways that are outdated or
it's not current best practice.
It bothers me. Now I'm not in the classroom. Thank you, Lord, for that. But I was. But I'm still like, you know, I'm big on it. So like if I walk in a pre-K classroom and I don't see colors, that bothers me. You know, like colorful, inviting, that triggers me. Real life. COVID-19 has changed a lot of stuff. So a lot of stuff can't happen or take place in schools and stuff like that. But when this older generation, because you know how we were taught.
Yes.
So think about how they were taught, like even older than us.
Oh, I understand.
We were taught by drills. Like that was, you're going to sit down for this hour and rote memorization.
Yep.
So we went over the alphabet for 45 minutes. You know, like it wasn't get up and go, and we weren't learning to play. We weren't exploring. We weren't doing all that stuff. So when you have a teacher from the generation before us that was taught with the ruler, you know, like sit down, sit still, you know, it's kind of, so that teaching style.
So you missed it is what she's saying, which is what I said.
I'm not saying that you missed it. I'm saying that you have to learn to adapt. Like if it's okay with you finding your career at 50, but you got to remember that what we're doing in 2021 is not the same thing as what was being done in 1940.
That's the missing that I'm talking about. If you're,
I don't know if they're that old.
If you're at an age where you know you're not able to grasp the new concepts and be efficient or effective in this current time, you've missed it. Like if you find out at 65 that you were supposed to be a classroom teacher, I don't know why that's so funny to me. You might not be able to go back. Like you're gonna have to pay for someone else to go to college. You know, become a motivational speaker for teachers and say don't miss it.
Don't do that.
You know, you have to, you know, be in tune with where you are. I'm not gonna do this because I love older people. I have some very close friends that are really older and they are seasoned and they
what was the stress, the emphasis on
and I don't want to call her name, but the flyest person I know is almost 70, and I mean she's more of a millennial than I am, but she knows what she does and she does her thing well. She's a retired lawyer.
Oh, come on.
Listen, and goes full steam in the ministry that I'm a part of. And I mean, but she knows her limits. She's like, well, I'm going to get one of these young folks to do that. But just, she's in her vein and she flows and she does well in her thing for her age. And like if it's beyond her, then it's beyond her. If you realize at 70 that you were supposed to be doing something, you might have missed it.
Don't do it. Is what you're saying.
I'm saying do what you're
Friend
supposed
said
to
don't do it. Let's put that out there. Friend said if you 70, you just figured out that you're supposed to do something, don't do it.
Especially if it's classroom teaching preschool. It's
Don't
a no.
do it.
It's no.
Don't do it.
Well, you know what?
Nope. Don't do it.
I'm gonna have to take that back.
Who you know?
I was thinking about as
The
a preschool
grandmother.
teacher the health that you would need to have, but there's some fly 7-year-olds out here.
It's some flowers.
I mean, roller skating in the street, bodybuilding on the beach.
I didn't say not to do
sexier
it.
than
She
me.
said not to do it.
I'm taking it back is what I'm saying.
I'm saying is, let's be sure that that's what you're supposed to do. Now, if that's what you're supposed to do, and be ready to adapt, be willing to adapt and change and shift. Like that is what everything is about. I don't know of anything that you're supposed to stay exactly the same all the time. Here's another point for the 20-year-olds.
Last one.
Find your lane and stay in it.
Stay in your lane, okay? Stay in your lane.
It's like, and then we won't be fighting outside the club.
I mean, like, find what your thing is. Like, that's what your 20 should be about. Is figuring, like you said, figuring yourself out. Find out what your thing is, what you love.
Go hard in your thing.
What drives you, what is the thing that you could do every day and not get paid for it? Something you love. Because I feel like we all fall into, hey, I need to make $1. Now, don't get me wrong, because dollars make me holler. But what I'm saying is, like, what do you love that can generate money? Generate income. 7 streams. Her daddy told me that. 7 streams of income. Like, it seems like a lot, but you can do it. But figure out what that lane is and stay in it, because we have so many issues because people are trying to cross over into other people's lanes. Like, we can do the same thing, and I'm saying this and I want you to understand, look at me when I say this. We can do the same thing, but there's not another me, period. So just because somebody else is doing it doesn't mean that you can't do it or you shouldn't do it. But whatever it is that you're going to do, whatever it is that you love, whatever it is pushes you, what gives you that drive, do that and do it well. Do it to the best of your ability. Don't allow the person in the next lane to determine how you driving your car. You get what I'm saying?
I do. It's like it's the 20s is where you trial and error.
Yeah.
You figure out what works, what doesn't work, how you like to do things, how they shouldn't be done. You also learn the system that you're working in. Like, there's a certain way I wanted to teach, and it wasn't allowed. Like, you have to figure out the system that you're a part of.
Inside this
Yeah, it's like, no, we're not standing on this for geometry. Now that's what they say do.
But why? So yeah, that was my 20. That was, listen. I'm with it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
I'm 37.
Get in your lane. Drive straight.
Drive straight. Don't let these fools try to, hey, I'm telling you. Because they will. You know, there's always somebody on the outside. There's always somebody else who's going to have something to say or try to stop you from doing what you, that's not just for your 20s. That's 30, 40, 50, 60, 70.
That's life.
That's life. Tell them mind their business. And you mind yours. Because you can't tell somebody else to mind their business and you minding everybody else's business. You know what I mean?
Don't be hypocritical.
Don't be that person. So get in your lane.
But you won't be if you spend your 20s getting to know yourself.
Get to know you. Because I'm going to tell you, what you don't want to do is spend your 20s not knowing who you are and get into your 30s and still don't know who you are, and then you almost 40 and you're trying to figure out who you are. I need another drink. It's not fun, I'm telling you guys.
Recap.
Very fun. Tell me
Another cap. What we said, friend?
We said a lot.
We said travel,
have fun,
Figure yourself out.
Figure yourself out. Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
What else
Don't
he
be
said?
swayed. Don't compare yourself. Jonathan McReynolds says comparison kills.
Listen, that song. We'll talk to Jonathan later. 'Cause I like Jonathan McReynolds.
I like him too.
He might be young though.
He is. He's just turning 30.
We need to talk to these 30-year-olds because at this point, I can date somebody and date somebody else.
At this point, I cannot date yet.
I can date for her though.
She can. What else did we say?
I don't know, friend.
Y'all heard
We said
the
a lot. Y'all heard the podcast. It was a lot. It was a lot. And I hope y'all got into it because I don't remember.
All right, guys. That's it for this one.
Listen, join us again because we're coming back with many, 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 many more. And if you have a topic that you'd like for us to dive on in, hit us up. We are available everywhere, like Instagram. Everything but Housewives. Hashtag.
No ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am.
How old are we?
I won't.
Isn't it like
Never
letters?
mind.
Our Instagram is just letters.
Our Instagram is just letters.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
It's not. It's everything but underscore house HW.
Everything
Y'all
but
excuse me.
underscore HW on
It's not the
Instagram. It is the drink.
I promise you it's not. I just said no.
And then on Facebook, everything but Housewives.
So it's the whole name. Look at you.
It's Facebook.
Facebook, Instagram, everything but underscore HW.
Yes.
I got
We're in
it.
there.
Yay! So make sure y'all come back. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed this. Y'all like hearing us talk. I know y'all do.
We got something else to say in a second.
We got lots to say. Whoo, I can't wait till we get into the juicy, juicy, juicy stuff.
Until next time.
We're gonna pull out this wine glass.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.